Yes, sir. Everett. Fill my can out. My mafia gang. Just going through, see what else I need to pack up. A few other things. I should have it all packed up, ready to roll here by morning. I'm just leaving a few things out. Hey, Todd. Hey, Todd. Just moping around. Getting things cleaned and yeah, I should be either tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm just waiting on the text. Between morning and anytime tomorrow or Wednesday. So basically the only things left on here is just a PS. And but other than that, just waiting time. Oh, it will. It will, Jeremy. It sure will. I'm just going to do the fix part tonight. The only thing I gotta do is take my trash out. And just sweep, clean. I think I'll do that tomorrow, which shouldn't take long. We're back, Mike. Put that up here for now. Definitely keep my jacket out. But for those that wants my new address or anything, let me know. Yeah, Todd. Sure do. Just let me know. I'll shoot you my email address on here. Oh yeah, Mike. Last time I moved and I came here, I left a bunch of my stuff behind because I was so in a hurry, stressed. Not this time. Not this time. No. I ain't gonna make the same mistake twice, and I won't. One side wants to keep lit, the other side don't. My big part of my stuff's already ready to go. Yeah, I understand that, but once I get everything set up, I should be on. Hopefully, no later than between Wednesday and Friday. Yes, sir, Jeremy. All my pipes are in the box. All my tobaccos are in the box except for two because it's actually holding up my PS so I can breathe. But other than that, once she messes me, lets me know she's on her way. I'm just gonna take a little bit of what I got and move it over to the side. Now I definitely got to grab my. Let me show you guys my Bluetooth speaker real quick. Ow. This bad boy is nice. Bass, speaker, a place for a microphone, auxiliary, 3 USB ports, so forth and so on. Hey, Dark Lord. And believe it or not, I got this package brand new for nothing. One nice thing about it, back here, opens up. It's got all my cords and stuff in there for it. And that sucker is loud. It's all get out. Trust me. It's Bluetooth. I could Bluetooth my phone to that, and I could play my music from my phone to that. And yes, I do got a microphone. Actually, I got 2 mics. I'll show you one mic. Oh, nice mic. This mic here is for a computer, which I can't use it on this one. But I do got my professional mic. Yeah. I gotta get all my USB. This bag here is just for all the cords and whatnot. Then of course I got my other one for my PS. Hey John, how you doing? Good to see you. I was just showing my Bluetooth speaker. This bad boy. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go fix me a glass of tea real quick. I'll be right back. Hey John, that was a good live last night. Um, Appreciate the live. Appreciate you letting me come in. Gotta put my cords up. Back to the pipe. Good, John. Last time I checked, you had over 120 views on that. Alright, Everett, you have a good night. Have a great week. Be safe, be careful, and be well. Last time I looked, you had over 120 views on that live, John. That's good. That helps you out. Thank you, Everett. Actually, as of right now, you got 126. Anytime, John. Once I get down there, we should do it often. Take a Sunday night, because I will have a tripod for the phone. The only thing I gotta do is stick my cord in there. I had to turn my phone sideways to put it on charge last night, but maybe take a night when you get time. Maybe do it again in the near future and sit down. Cause she's got like a basement part where it's like 11 quarters down there. So I could be down there and shoot the breeze. I haven't seen your video from today, John. Not yet, but I will. There we go. My tobacco's behind me except for 2 jars. I'm going to fill this pipe up before I leave. I ain't going to light it until I leave. But the tobacco I'm using now has got Bird Light without a bite with some original Hoppers Weeds cherry, so it's a cherry vanilla blend. And I can get a good 45 minutes to an hour smoke out of that, so I'll load that up. Smoking on the way down. It's about an hour drive. About 40 miles. 40. So if I go down there today, which is after midnight now, I get everything set up. I'll Might do it live. But it'll probably be Wednesday evening. Because I'm going to be busy that day. So, we'll see. But I'm definitely going to get a tripod. I'm going to get one of them tall, not tall ones, but tall enough for the floor. Where I can do my lives better. Where everybody can hear me better. So, we'll see. So I gotta get the internet set up. Well, she's got internet. So I just gotta get the password so I can set the PS4 up, set the phones up. I gotta write it down. So forth and so on. So, my PS4 takes the HDMI cord. But when I bought the cord, I didn't want no short cord. No 6-foot one, no 10-foot one. I got a 25-foot cord. So I can move my PS anywhere as long as there's a plug-in, I can move it. And I gotta figure out if I'm gonna need a stand, a desk. Yeah, I got a 25-foot HDMI cord that's actually hooked to my PS4 to my TV. I can actually take this PS4 and take her over here to this wall over here and plug it in and still play it. But see, here's the thing, Mike. I gotta take a pipe rest. Here's my controller to my PS. So my PS can be over there, curl there, set and plugged in. As long as I got hooked up to the TV, I can sit here and do whatever. Now the only time it just got a charging cord to it, where I could charge it up to it, in which right now it does not need to be charged at all. It'll let me know. And here's the cool thing too, Mike. I can actually hook my earphones like this. Hook it into my PS, and I can sit here and watch your guys' videos through this. Yep, that's what she said. So, makes it pretty neat like that. And I can sit here and I can even take it in to the other room and still listen to you guys' videos at any time I want. I'll show you guys what the PS4 looks like. There's the PS4. It's a PS4 Pro. Still got the car for Bishop pipes. But that's my PS4 Pro. I already got games installed on there. I also got the Mafia game. For this round, there's the Mafia game. And also, the actual Mafia poster. With the game. So this here is going to get, I'm going to have to measure what size this is. I'm going to frame it. Oh, and also got Grand Theft Auto 5. It's already installed on my system. Crazy game, oh. That's a crazy game. You can actually, same way on the Mafia game, you could pick these women up, if you know what I mean. And you can go and do your thing with them, whatever. You can on the Grand Theft Auto 5. It's been out for a while, well, a couple years. But I used to have the Grand Theft Auto San Andre or whatever it is. But in the Grand Theft Auto 5, you can do more in that game than you can in the previous. But they supposed to become now with the Grand Theft Auto 6. But it will not be for the PS4. It's going to be for the PS5. I'll give the PS5s are new. They got PS5s in there, and you can do more on the PS5s than you can the PS4s, especially the Pro ones. But I'll give them by next year or so. I mean, it just came out. The PS5 just came out. But I'll give it to about next year or so, maybe two. People be selling cheap. I've already seen people already selling their PS5 games already because they didn't like them. They buy them because of the hype. They go on these reviews on the games, they buy them. And the only reason why I got the Grand Theft Auto 5 because it does what it says. Does what it says. So I'm not. It's like the pipe. The bar goes in the pipe. It's all about the hype. Selling that game. I've seen some games go high as $60, $70. There's one game I was been wanting to get for this, and it's like $59.99. I'm not. Oh, John, Grand Theft Auto 5. You can. Now I gotta be careful what I say. The only thing I can say is you could take a woman down there needs the bridge and pay her some money, and you could do your own thing. I've done it on the game. Goes from 25 up to 100. $100. The $100 is the cream of the crop. You could do your little thing, go on, kick her out, then run her over. I've done it. After I got done doing what I had to do with her, yeah. Oh, I do that, John. Oh, nice, Mike. Matter of fact, speaking of that, it's not that bad. Not that bad. Oh, I got it around here. I got the. Yeah, John, I have stolen motorcycles. I've stolen helicopters. I've stolen dozers. I've stolen planes. I'm trying to remember where I stuck up one bag at. I think it's in this. I gotta take these. One set of cords out, anyways, because I gotta stick them over my other thing. But anyways, oh, I was gonna show Mike. Trying to think real quick, Mike. I got the original Nintendo, but I was going to show what it looks like. Let me turn around here real quick. I've got it around here somewhere. Jeremy. Hold on for a minute, guys. Oh. I'll stop thinking about it. I've got it around here somewhere. Night, Mike. Now that's going to bug me. That's really going to bug me now. I'll find it. So what y'all smoking tonight? I bet you I know where it's at. That reminds me. All my cords for what I need for. Because all these cords are... Oh, nice, John. Night, Todd. I just gotta back up a few more things up, guys. I use this for all my karaoke music, regular music. Now, if I Bluetooth my phone to that, I cannot use the mic at the same time. Now, That's where this little thing comes in. I can plug this into my phone and plug it in this. I can use the mic with the music. I can blast out if I want to blast out, but I never used it since I've been here. I have just on this phone, my main phone. I'll tell you how many's on this one, including this one. I have over 100 and some songs on this one. I forget how many's on that one. Now I'm thinking about getting a longer cord, which I'm planning on doing, where I can have my tripod and have this plug in for this without having to lay my phone down and try to lean over and try to. There is a karaoke set. It's got the speakers, lights, and everything, but it's almost like $800 some. But if that's through like Aaron's or Rent to Own or a place like that, you know. And the reason why Rent to Own places do it like that is so they can make their money back off of it. Most people goes in there just buy stuff. Some people just goes in there and buy stuff straight out. Straight out. They don't mess with payments. I'm the same way. I am the same way. I'm the type of person that I'd rather buy it straight out, right then and there. Don't have to worry about payments, don't have to worry about them coming repoing it, repossessing it, missing the payment, and then for them to come to repo it. I buy all my stuff straight out, if it's affordable. Because sometimes, say I've been trying to get talked into. I've been talked into going like Rent to Own places like that to get something. No. Nah. Because there could be a month where I can't afford it, and I'm not doing it. I'll go to Goodwill or High Thrift or somewhere and find what I'm looking for. Then, going to a place like that and trying to. Because you gotta go all through that red tape, your 3 recommendations, and because they'll call people say, well, can he afford it? Is he good enough? Hey, Dingus. Alright, Dingus. Be safe, be well, brother. That's just when they'll call. You gotta put down 3 people, 3 or 4 people. They'll call and say, hey, can he afford this? Is he able to make payments on time? Is he able to do this, able to do that? And no. Cause I argued one time with one up here, well, not here, but one in the courthouse. And I asked him, I said, why you got to have the references for? it ain't none of their business if I'm gonna come here and get something. Well, we got to make sure that you're able to do this and able to do that. Because a friend of mine, she called me and she says, because I was going to do it for my cousin. And my friend of mine, real good, dear, sweet friend of mine, she was on, she says, there's no way, at the time I didn't have no income coming in. And she says, he ain't going to be able to, she says, I told him, she says, there's no way you're going to be able to pay for that. And she says, somebody probably talked him into doing it. And I got mad, boy. I got mad. And I said, why did you tell him all that for? The only thing you had to say was, well, he can't afford it. You didn't have to go saying all that. I said, that there, what are you trying to do? Trying to put a bad reputation on me? Now I can go if I want to and afford it if I want it, but I don't do it. You know, I don't go to rent a center or errands or any of these rented places and it's like a car. It's like an automobile. You make a payment on that car, you miss a payment on that car, they're going to cut and repossess. They're going to repo. I've repoed cars before. I've repoed automobiles for people. I had guns put in my face. I had shots fired at me. And the last one I quit on, because I just about got killed on that one. And I told myself, I'll get this car out of here. And we got the car out, and it was back like not a long lane, but it felt like forever. It was nighttime. It was towards evening time, towards about this time of year. Of course, it gets dark about 5:36. Well, we was on the hunt for this car, and we followed it, watching for a couple of days to see where they was going, to see what time they was leaving. You supposed to automatically do it right then and there, but we was trying to do it on the safe side. And our big mistake was to go back on their property instead of out in a public place. Went back there, boy. It was a truck. Matter of fact, it was a Chevy. Real nice truck too, 350. Real nice. And it was a 3500 series, and we went back there and we just like the guy was out there, and we told him, man, we're here to get the truck, man. We got papers here. We work for this so and so car lot, and I ain't gonna miss the car lot. And we have the authority to come here to repo this truck because you missed the last 2 payments on this truck. Well, you ain't gonna, he started arguing, well, you guys ain't gonna take the truck, give me another chance, and this, not, and the other. I'll make up for the last two payments on it. He was trying to make every excuse there was. Sorry. We had an extra set of keys with us for this truck. And most repos will always try to carry an extra set of keys for that particular vehicle, just in case the party will not give up the keys. He said, well, if you guys don't get off my property, I'm going to call the sheriff and this, not, and the other. Well, go ahead. We got paperwork here proving we got paperwork proving that we are going to take this truck. One way or the other, so you might as well give up the keys. He didn't know that we hadn't. Anytime that you repo and you got an extra set of keys, you ain't supposed to tell them that you got an extra set of keys to that vehicle. So, the guy I was with, he told me we had guns on us. He didn't know it. The guns were in his truck. So if we had to go back and grab, we'll go back and grab. And but we ain't supposed to use them. Because the car dealer always told us never use guns, guys. Call the police, call the sheriff, whoever you got to call, come out and explain to them what's going on, and they'll make them give you the keys. Well, he gave up the keys, and I thought, okay, this is going to be cool, this is going to be groovy, we're out of here. Well, we was wrong. Got the keys, and he threw me the keys, and I got in the truck, started the truck up, backed down, and started to roll. Next thing it was warm. It was warm out. They normally it was cold, but it was warm out evening. It was up in the 60s. Started to roll out. Next thing I know is I was hearing gunshots. I never had a shotgun, pistol. He busted out the back glass, and I thought I got hit, but I didn't, just for luck. But he busted out the back glass. I got out of there quick as I freaking could, and got on the road. Well, I drove probably about a half mile before I stopped the truck. And at first, when I looked through the rearview mirror, I thought I was being chased by him. But it wasn't him, it was the other party I was with. They said, Jeff, why didn't you stop? And I said, I thought that was him behind me. I mean, there was shattered glass on the seats and everything. And got out, and he said, you alright? I said, I don't think so. I said, I don't think I'm hit or anything, but I think I got some shattered glass just down my shirt. Took my shirt off, shook it, make sure I wasn't hit with bullets or nothing. And the bullet was underneath the rearview mirror. You could see it, and that's how close the bullet was to me. He missed me by inches. And I told him, he says, you alright? Yeah, well, the sheriff, we haven't seen the sheriff come with his lights, he had to activate his lights on. And well, we flagged him. We showed him the paperwork and showed him what happened. He looked at me and asked me if I was alright. I said, yeah, I'm fine. It's just, I'm just a little shook up. I said, I'm not shook up from the bullet. I said, I'm just a little shook up because I really don't know if I was actually hit or not. And I said, my adrenaline was rushing too much. I said, the only thing I was worried about was getting out of there. Well, he says, hold on. He says, you boys stay here. He said, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to pull in. And he says, I'm going to ask him. Well, about I don't know, half hour or so later, here comes the sheriff with him. He looked at me and looked at us, and he says, this guy? And we said, yeah, that's him. Well, we're going to charge him. Charge him for what? Well, he shot the gun off, didn't he? Yeah. Well, we're going to have to charge him for that because he should never done that. You guys had the right to be there to get the vehicle, but for him to shoot the gun like he did. So we took the truck back to the car lot and called the owner. He lived probably about 10 minutes away. He came and handed the keys to the truck. And I said, well, you're going to have to put a new glass in. Both of them, front and rear. He said, what do you mean? I said, go take a look. Boy, he was mad. He was cussing up a storm. And I looked at him. I said, I'm done. I said, go ahead and pay me, because I was getting paid good. For every car that I brought back, I was getting paid like $200 every time. Heck yeah. For every car, $200. Yeah, I could do that. $200 cash. I'll do that. I said, just go ahead and pay me. Go ahead and pay me my money. I said, you guys can find somebody else. And here, I'm working for this guy. Not the car owner, but for this other guy. I was originally working for him. He was trying to help me make up extra money. But that's the thing, when you go and you can't afford it, don't get it. Don't get it. Don't. I've always been taught, don't ever live higher than your means. Never live higher than your paycheck. And my daddy always told me, never get a credit card. He says, boy, he says, you get yourself a credit card. He says, you'll be in debt for the rest of your life. You'll be paying on that, paying on that, paying on that until, he says, pay for cash or whatever you got to pay for. He says, buy it outright. And that's what I always done. I've always paid for everything out of my back pocket now. Well, when I was working, I always paid for stuff straight out. Or to trade. You know, that's what I've always been taught and raised to do. Everything I've got here, I mean, not to brag, but everything I got is bought and paid for. I got receipts on it. I don't have to worry about owing anybody anything or owing this person and that person. And you know, I don't have to worry about borrowing any money. And then, you know, I've been offered money. They always said, well, you know, Jeff, since you got that income coming in now, let me loan you $20, $30. You can pay me back. Nah, I ain't doing that. I ain't gonna rob Peter and pay Paul. You know, in other words, I ain't gonna bury. You know, a friend of mine, my cousin, he did that. And me and a couple other people got on to him about that. He'll go over here and borrow this and that, and this woman always rolling cigarettes for him. And she says, well, yeah, I'll roll you cigarettes, but you had to pay me at least $100 a month. Well, he kept doing it. Well, she raised it up to about $125, $130 on him every month. Saying, well, the tobacco's getting high, and this is, you know, the cheap's getting high, because she always buys that pipe tobacco for rolled on cigarettes. Well, it's getting high here, and this getting high. I said, George, because I asked her one day, I said, what type of tobacco you getting? So she told me, and I said, what type of tube are you getting? She told me. I was playing stupid. I hate to use the word stupid, I was playing dumb. I was getting the information. So I went down to and I said, where are you getting that at? Well, I'm getting down there to the cheap tobacco store. This when I lived in Greenfield. This happened about 15, 20 years ago. And I used to stay overnight and we'll drink beer. I'll buy some beer and stuff and we'll sit around and drink. I said, okay. So I went over to George. I said, George, I'll be back here in a little bit. I said, on the way back, I said, I'll get some beer. I said, I'll get a 30-pack. He said, well, we got beer in there. I said, yeah. I said, we'll run out before then. I said, I'll pick up another 30-pack up. So I'll be right back. I'm going to be in a glass of tea real quick. I'm back. But anyways, anybody still on? But anyways, I told myself I'll pick up another 30 pack up on my way back out. So went on. So I went down to the cheap tobacco store, and I kind of know the people because they know I'm a regular customer. Well, anyways, and I explained to him what was. I said, "Hey, I said I got a cousin out here." I said he's illiterate, and I said he can't read or write. I said be lucky if he can, just sign his name so he can sign his check. And this kind of looked at me and said, "Well, Jeff, what's going on?" So I said, "Well," I said, "this woman," I wrote everything down, and I said, "she's charging him about $130 a month to roll his cigarettes for him." And I said, "She keeps telling him," I said, "I'm a witness," that she says that this particular tobacco's going up, and this particular she in particular tubes. And she says, and they said, "Huh, does she live?" They said, "Well, where she live?" I said, "She lives out there Greenfield Meadows." And they said, "Is she kind of a older type lady?" "Yeah." "Does she have like salt and pepper hair?" "Yeah." "Kind of down to here?" "Yeah." They described her to a T. And they said, "No, Jeff, she's ripping him off." I said, "Oh, really?" I said, and I had this like a notebook piece of paper. And, hey, Patrick. And she said, and I said, oh, really? He says, yeah. They said, here's how much he's here. And he rang it up, the receipt. And I said, can you staple it to this paper? He says, yeah. I say, staple it. And he wrote everything on that piece because it was so thin, so the letter was so small, I couldn't hardly, so he wrote everything down for me, so I could see it. I said, I appreciate this. So I walked back out there. Well, here's Greenfield Mayor's County Corner. Right over here is the gas station. It's not that far of a walk. I can cross the road, be right there. Well, grabbed 30 pack, walked back over. So I walked to the back door, and this is before I just happened to walk in. He says, Jeff, he says, hide that beer. What do you mean, hide? He says, Fred's coming over. Well, so I took the beer into his bedroom and put it and hid it in his closet. Cause if when Fred was coming over, he'll suck all the beer up, drink it like water. And we still have plenty of beer in the fridge, so I did and grabbed him me a beer out of the fridge. Well, I said, George, I said, she's cheating you big time. Well, and he says, what do you mean? I said, here is the receipt. And I said, he explained me to her to a T and everything. I said, it's only costing her for the bag of tobacco and 4 things tubes. What you smoke is only costing her. I said, if you round it all, I said 47 something. Round up was $50 a month. And I said, she's killing you. She's making anywhere from $50 to $75 extra money off of you. So about that time, we was talking. About that time, Fred come in. He said, "What you guys talking about?" I said, "You know that woman's rolling cigarettes for him?" He says, "Yeah." She's cheating him. He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'll ask her what type of brand that he was getting him and the tubes." I said, "Fred," I said, "Look," I said, "there's the actual receipt." I said, "I just got that today, so I could prove to him." He looked at him. He says, shook his head, and he says, "Well," he says, "George, George gonna have to quit it." I said, "George," I said, "I'll tell you what I'll do." I said, "I'll roll your cigarettes 10 times cheaper than what she's rolling for you." And I said, in front of Fred, and I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well," I said, "you can go 2 ways. You can buy the cheap carton of cigarettes. You could buy 2 of them for half that price, or you can buy this one I got right here." I said, "I can get the same brand and everything. I can sit here rolling for you for a case of beer for $20. Actually, 20, rounded off about $22 a month for a case of beer." "Oh, you're fine, Patrick." "Oh, I know what you mean." I stopped and reread. He says, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Heck, for a 30 pack of beer, heck, man, that's for a 30 pack, heck, that's better." He said, "Alright." Well, it was starting in the summertime. End of May, going into June, July, and August, September. And I said, "George," I said, "you buy that beer." And I said, "Heck, I'll even split the beer with you." He says, "Alright." He says, "Out a fair deal." He says, well, yeah. So what he done every month, he bought 2 30 packs, two of them. I said for $45, George. I said, I mean that's including. I mean two 30 packs of beers about that price. Well, the month that month came along. He said, Chuck, and it was on a Friday. Well, that Thursday I went out there and seen him. I said, you still going to do it, right? You want me to? He says, yeah. He says, come out here tomorrow around about. He says, make about 2 o'clock. And he says, you can, stay all night because he's going to be drinking. He says, I don't want to see you get into trouble. I said, all right. I said, I'll just, I have some money on me. So I was doing a job. I was doing an on-end job, so I had a little bit of money on me, probably about $30, $40. And I said, George, I said, I'll tell you what we could do too. I said, I got a little bit of money on me, and I said, if you want to go half on the pizza or whatever, I'll pay half, whatever. He's all right. So got out there and he handed me the money. He says, go over here. He says, go over there. So I got the back stuff here. He says, go over. And of course, Fred, he shows up. And, because I went to the front door. I went to the, he already had beer in there, and I went and got a beer before I went over. And, because he already handed me the money for the beer. He says, go over and get a 30 pack. He said, I got 30 packs already in there. And I went and got a beer, and now I had his money separate from my money. But anyways, went to the past the front door, got a beer, and looked again, and I told George, I said, here comes Fred. He says, oh, blank. He says, I hope he wouldn't come over here today. And I said, of course, this is the first of the month, George. You know he's going to come over here and drink. I said, we're going to have another 30 pack anyways, but don't say nothing about it. Now, Fred paid for his, now Fred will drink some beer, but he'll send me over to get beer. So that's what I was doing. Well, within about an hour, he was already. So he was sitting there. We was drinking. Fred says, hey, Jeff. That's what he do. He'll walk backwards like this. Hey, Jeff. I said, what, Fred? And he would drink 2 to 3 beers to our one. That's how fast he drank the beer. He'll drink 2 to 3 to one. And he always paid lottery tickets. He says, go over and give me some more of these lottery tickets. And get a 12 pack. Big drunk like this. Sorry, Fred. Now this was less than within an hour. He's drunk. So I went over, got his stuff, come back. Well, George was pissed. I mean, he was mad. First thing come to my mind was, okay, what did Fred do? Fred must have said something to him to piss him off. I said, George, I put the beer in, and Fred says, grab us a beer. Well, what Fred didn't know was he thought I was grabbing George because they all drunk Busch Light. So he thought I was grabbing George's beer, and I wasn't grabbing George's beer. I was grabbing his beer for us, and I was trying to save George's beer. Got in there, handed Fred a beer. Here, George, sit down. And I looked over. George, what the heck is wrong with you? I said, did I walk into something? He said, "Oh, no, no, Jeff." He says, it ain't you or Fred." I said, "Look, Thomas, what do you mean?" He says, "You know that woman?" I said, "Yeah." She come over here. She was wanting me to go ahead and pay her for this month, and pay her for this month, so she could roll me cigarettes. And I told her no, I I can't do it. And she got pissed off mad at me for it, and she's going on, and we kind of got into it. I said, "Well, what did you tell her?" She says, "I told her, well, I already got somebody else doing it, and they're doing it cheaper." And I didn't say about anything about what we discussed. I said, "Good." He said, "Fred said, well, what do you mean you got somebody else?" And he plumb forgotten. But Fred was the type of guy that used to carry anywhere from 1,500 to $2,000 on him, $2,000 at least. There's one night, there it was. There's one night I was out there. This ain't no joke, and I've seen him do it. And I was sitting there, and he says, "Jeff, I want you to come over here." He says, "I can't see straight," and he says, I'm kind of a little bit kind of drunk." Now he'll admit to it that if he's a little drunk, he'll tell you that he is. He said, "I want you to count my money." All right, I'm sitting there, I'm counting. I said, "Fred, you got close to $2,000 sitting right here." He said, "All right." He says, "Leave it." He says, "Leave a couple 20s out." I said, "Okay, Fred." So I gave his money back, and I took the 2 20s. I held them up to him so he know that he's. And I said, "Fred, now you just said that two 20s out, right?" He says, "Yes." So I hold him up to him. I said, "Here's 2 20s. Lay him down." He took that 120, hold it up, and took a lighter, let that $20 bill on fire. So I seen that, and I seen the tip of it started to burn a little bit, and it started to burn. And I went, grabbed it out of his hands real quick. I said, "Fred, what the name of God you think you're doing?" He says, "I'm going to burn this 20. I don't care." I said, "Fred, you can't do that." I said, "George," I said, "you see that?" He says, "Yeah, I seen." He said he hard phrase, "Fred, now if you're going to start doing that dumb blank blank blank," he says, "you can go on home." He says, "You ain't going to be doing that stuff over here." So I was on over, 220 still sitting there on the table, and Fred had to go use the bathroom. He said, "Fred's in the bathroom. He's drunk." I said, "George," I said, "watch this." I said, "I'm going to get him." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm going to take one of his 20s. I said, I'm going to put it in my pocket." He said, "Jeff, you know that he's going to remember how much money he's going to remember them two." I said, "I know this." But I said, I'm going to teach that old boy. I'm going to teach him a lesson. He's all right. I said, "Fred," I said, "you better," and it was still early. The guy stayed in close till about 11 o'clock. And this is like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's still, I mean, it's summer. It's hot. He says, "Take out 120 and go over and get some beer." And I said, "Fred," I said, "I think you had enough. You need to go home." "Oh, I had enough. Go over and get another 12 pack." So the 220s were stacked on one another, so I grabbed that money real quick, put it in my billfold, and I'm starting to feel it. I'll start getting the buzz. And all the way over there, I'm thinking, man, I gotta quit. And usually Fred will stay probably from 2 o'clock to probably about 3:30, no later than 4. Then he goes home. But we have to pack him home because he's drunk. Me and George. And this is like after 5 o'clock. I'm thinking, man, he's going to pass out over here at George's. And And I said, so I got the beer. And matter of fact, I bought two 12 packs. Come back over and he said, I told you only to buy one 12 pack, by God. And I said, Fred, I got money. I went ahead and bought another 12 pack out of my money. Well, he did know that I bought out of his money. So I took out money and that 20 and some change. He had like close to $30 left. And I thought, oh, okay, I was just making sure that you wasn't screwing me. Well, yeah, you got screwed alright. So he sat there. Now let me remind you, none of George's beer wasn't touched. And that 30 pack was still sitting in the closet at the same time. I plumb forgot all about it, sitting in there until after took Fred home. Come back over and, well, Fred was sitting there. He was about ready to pass out. Still sitting there drinking. And he went to the bathroom. I said, George had to wear a hearing aid. So I leaned over and I said, George. He says, yeah. I said, we're going to have to get him go, man. I said, he's about ready to pass out. He said, yeah, I know. I'll get him to go here in a minute. Fred Pip said, what you guys talking about in there? Guys in there talking about me like that. No, Fred. Fred come back out and sat down. George finally he said, watched him sit down, and George picked up and he says, well, Fred, he says, you're going to have to drink that beer, man. He says, you're going to have to go home. You're about ready to pass out, he says. He was making an excuse. He said, I want to lay down, and Jeff's about ready to leave. He says, I want to lay down for a while. I kind of looked at George. George looked at me and he winked at me. I said, yeah, Fred. I said, I'm about ready to leave. I said, George wants to lay down and get him something to eat so he can lay down. I'll help you home. Took him over to the house. Well, he kind of looked at me sitting there in the chair and he says, Jeff, he says, did you really get that beer out of you? I said, yeah. So he pulled out a $20 bill. He says, here. He says, what's that for, Fred? He says, well, he says, you said you bought that and I've been drinking it. He says, I owe you. So, okay, thanks, Fred. I didn't tell him about his own money. Walked back over there and sitting there, and I said, George, you ain't gonna believe it. He said, oh, by the way, Jeff, he says, you still got that 30 pounds? I said, oh, yeah. He says, how's he been? We've been sitting here drinking the beer. He says, have you touched any beer, my beer? I said, no. I said, all the times we've been sitting here, man, I said, we've been drinking his beer. What he's been buying. He says, really? I said, yeah, go look. So I showed him. He said, I can't believe that. I said, yeah. I said he thought that he was sitting there all this time drinking your beer, and he wasn't. He was drinking his own. We've been drinking on his. So we had a half a 12 pack plus a whole 12 pack in there, and that wasn't including almost 20 some beers of his beer and another 30 pack. And I said, got back and I said, you ain't gonna believe this. He said, what's that? I said, Fred just got done paying me $20 because he swears up and down that I bought the other 12 pack out of my money and I didn't. He said, what do you mean? You didn't buy the other 12 pack out of your money? I said, no. I said, all that 2 12 packs I brought in, that come out of his money. I said, what do you think? And he basically says, you handed him almost $30 back, because that's the point. I took both 20s with me. He says, oh my God. I said, don't worry, he ain't gonna know the difference. I said, he might. I said, I doubt it. So we were sitting there drinking. Well, about 8 o'clock or so, Fred's calling, because Fred called him between 8 and 8:30 every night. He says, hello. He answers the phone. He says, yeah, Fred. And he looked at me and went, he says, yeah. So what are you doing? Oh, just sitting here watching TV. He says, did Jeff Lee? And I can hear Fred talking. He says, did Jeff leave? Yeah, he went on. He says, well, was he drunk when he left? Yeah, no, he wasn't drunk. I'm sitting there the whole doggone time. Well, about that time, he gets off the phone. Well, here comes the boys. Donald and Darrell. They came in. Well, Donald was drinking, but he wasn't drunk. Darrell, he was about half of that. Well, when he came in, he had this bag. Darrell did. They had some beer on them. Well, first thing come out of George's mouth was, he looked at Darrell. He says, Darrell, he says, I think what's in that bag, what I think it is. He says, you can't stay. He says, you got to go. Excuse me for a second, y'all. Darrell's about half of it. He says, what do you mean I got to go? He said, if you got whiskey in that bag, he said, you got to go. He says, you know my rule. Now, he says, now I don't mind if Darrell, he says, he told Darrell, he points his finger at him, he says, I don't care if Don or Jeff has any. But he says, you, no. Because he says, I know how you get when you get the whiskey and beer mix. And every time he drinks whiskey and beer, he wants to fight everybody. He wants to fight you. He says, Darrell, he says, and he was like, oh, come on, George. He says, I'll just have some beer and no whiskey. He says, just let me stay for a little bit and let me drink at least a couple, 2 or 3 beers. And he says, I'll go. He says, I won't touch none of them. He says, all right. He says, give that bottle to Jeff. Because way over here is the kitchen table. They set the kitchen table. And over here is the couch. Well, I sat on this end of the couch, and George sat on this end of the couch over here. He says, now hand that bottle to Jeff, and Jeff will sit on the other side of him, and he's going to make sure that you don't touch it. So, went on. Well, he went. Yeah. So, sitting there. We was all having a good old time. No troubles. So I pipped up and I said, hey, I don't know what George, what's this? I said, hey, Darrell. Says, yeah, I mean, he was getting plastered. He says, yeah. I said, you mind if I have a shot of that? He says, yeah. It's all right. George, you want a shot? He said, yeah, I'll take a shot. Donald, you want a shot? Yeah. So we was all sitting around. We always mixed ours. And George always kept a 12-pack of pop cans around. So we all mixed ours. We were sitting there drinking. I said it so quick. Daryl said yeah, and he don't remember me saying anything. So we was all sitting around there drinking. Well, so I said, George, I said, can I see you for a minute outside? And I said, Donald, can I see you guys outside for a minute out on the patio? They said, yeah. I got this certain weird look. So we took our glasses out there. We went out, he had the sliding glass door. Went out and shut it, and I said, hey. I said, the reason why I got you guys out here, I said, you know he's pretty well lit up, right? Yeah. I said, do you mind if I take that bottle and put it in? I said, George, do you mind if I said, Donald, I want your approval on this because you're going to be a witness to this. I said, I ain't going to do nothing with the liquor. I said, I ain't going to do nothing with the whiskey. But I said, do you mind if I put it in George's closet in the bedroom? Because I said, he's about ready to pass out. I said, he's going to have to stop. I'll put it in there and hide it, and that's way if he happens to leave, he don't carry that with him and fall and bust himself all up. Donald says, yeah. He says, yeah, go ahead. He says, that'll be a smart idea. He says, and I said, he can come get it tomorrow or whatever. It'll be in there, whatever. That's why he's safe if he happens to pass out and fall and pass out, you know, or you help him home. I said, better yet, I said, if you have to, I said, get hold of your sister. Come get him. And that's why I said, George says, well, you guys stay here. But yeah, I told him, but yeah, let me hide that, and that's why he don't get up in the middle of the night and start drinking it. He said, yeah, go ahead. So I did. He had to get up and use the, I said, I'll tell you what, if he's got to go use the bathroom real quick, he goes in there, takes it. I said, if he goes use the bathroom, I said, I'll go ahead and sneak it in there. So I did. And so he just lucky he had to go use the bathroom. Went in there, snuck in his closet, and come back out. Then about that time I was coming out of George's bedroom. He was behind me saying, hey, brother Jeff, what are you doing? That's all. I had to put something up for George. Well, he plumb forgot about that bottle. Nobody didn't say a word. We're still drinking the whiskey and the beer. So I finished, I mean, I had a glass half this size. If you could see where this, my teeth shaking, that's how much I had. So we was all sitting around. So I finished mine off. About that time, I said, well, I gotta go use the bathroom. When I used the bathroom, come back, I said, does anybody need a beer while I'm up? I said, it's gonna be one trip to it all. Here it is going on about 8:30 at night. And George normally goes to bed about 9:30. And we still had the beer. So we weren't worrying about the alcohol. So we waited till George went to bed. Well, George didn't go to bed till about 10. Well, by this time, we got Daryl to leave. So Daryl left. We were still drinking. Well, George is deaf in both ears. So if he takes his hearing aids out, he ain't gonna be able to hear you or hear the door. So what me and Donald done, I have some money on me. He says, "Hey Jeff." I said, "Yeah." He says, "We'll wait about a half hour, 45 minutes." He says, "What we'll do," he says, "we'll lock the front door and me and you will sneak out the back. We'll go to the Furman's and drink a few beers, which is not even 2 blocks over." He says, "We'll sneak out the back, go over and drink, come back here." It's alright. So that's what we done. So what we did was, is because we had to, from George's apartment to his mom's house was clear across town. I mean, like 12 blocks, about 10, 11 blocks over. So we had to walk like 10, 11 blocks to get to his mom's house. And we got out there, and he's about hit. I said, "Where you going?" He said, "Well, I'm going to mom's." I said, "No, no, no." I said, "Come on." He says, "Where are we going?" I said, "Remember we left George's back sliding door opened up? We got to go back over there." He said, "Oh, that's right. And we got beer over there too, don't we?" I said, "Yeah." We got back over about 11:30. No, close to midnight. It was about 10 to 15 minutes close to midnight. We get back over. We walk back in, sliding back door. Nobody was up. Nobody wasn't around. And we eased that door opened up. Me and him walked in, eased the door back and locked it, and stopped the curtains. Just like we got in there just in time. Because there's a couple of neighbors just happened to come around the corner. Because behind us is patio, and then they have a sidewalk that goes over to the other side. But we left the TV on. So I looked at him, and he says, I went, phew. He says, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "That was close. That was a close call." So what do you mean? I said, "There's a couple of neighbors that was down through here. Because on one side they had the people that was on low income. They had low income apartments and they had the regular apartments for families. But the ones on the low income side was the people that was with disabilities. But that's the side George was on." And I said, "That one woman down here, she's out walking, and a few other people down there walking, a bunch of busybodies, that's what we call them, nosing around to see what's going on, so they can go in the office Monday morning and go blab on everybody." He says, "You serious?" I said, "Yeah, look." He says, "Yeah, that was a close call, wasn't it?" I said, "Yeah." So, well, me and George went half and half on pizza. Well, we got 2 of them. So we were sitting there eating, and I told him, I said, because Don had a bad hip, and he had surgery on that hip. He had rods in his hip. So I let him sleep on the couch and me on the floor. And here it is, a little bit after midnight, and we was laying there, and he looked at me and he says, "Jeff." I said, "What?" And he said, "I can't sleep." I said, "Me neither." I said, "You want to get drunk?" Yes, yeah. I said, "Let's get drunk." So we got drunk. We didn't go to bed till about 2:30, 3 o'clock that morning. So we slept a couple hours, like 4 or 5 hours, because we knew what time George got up. George got up around about 6:30, 7 o'clock. So we got up, we all drank a cup of coffee, and we started back in drinking again all that day. And Donald says, we started drinking. And Donald said, well, I got to go take these. Well, Donald wasn't drinking, but me and George was. And every time, I stayed the weekend up till Monday morning. Then I'll leave. Donald says, hey, he says, I'm going to the bar tonight. He says, Jeff, want to go? I said, nah, not the bar. I said, I can't do it tonight. So I said, I'd rather stay out here and drink with George. So I drank probably about 4 or 5 beers that morning. I said, George, I'll be back here later on. But I said, keep Fred out of our beer. He said, all right. I said, I'm going to go try to make some money. So I left from about 11 o'clock. Walked down to McDonald's. Probably about 7 blocks. Met up with the guy and I said, you mind if I do this work for you today? He said, yeah. I said, how much you willing to pay me today? He said, I could pay you about $30. I said, I could work for 2 or 3 hours, and I said, I got to be back here in town before 5 o'clock, because I said, I said, there's some business I got to take care of. I didn't tell him what it was about. He's all right. So I did some work, come in town. I said, he said, where you want to be dropped off? I said, drop me out here, down here, because, like I said, there's a gas station, then the library, and then the apartments. So just drop me off here. I said, I'm over here to talk to a friend of mine for a while, and then I said, then I'm going to head uptown. He said, all right. So I wait till he left. I'll be right back. back. So it went on. So I waited till he left. Make sure that, because he was going to go grab him something to eat. Yeah, he had to go uptown, he was going to grab him something to eat, grab a few things. Well, anyways, so I waited. And I kind of walked, I thought I was walking towards inside it, so I kind of watched him. Make sure they didn't go up to Bob McCarroll's and sit up there and watch what I was doing, or I wait till he passed the store. So I walked in and got a case of beer. Cheap case of beer. Well, and walked over there and he said, "My God, Jeff," he said, "we got enough beer in here." So I know. It's Saturday night, we're going to drink. I bought enough beer. We still had the 30 pack. We still had all this other beer plus this case to last us a week. I said, I know, but I said, I'm going to take this and put it in the closet, and that's way. If Franco happened to come over, he saw Fred was over here today. I said, well, that's good. He says, have you ate today? And I said, no. He says, well, we still got some of that pizza left. So I ate me a couple slices, about 3 or 4 pieces of pizza, grabbed a beer. So we was all sitting there, and next thing you know, here comes Donald and Daryl in. So they grabbed them a beer, sitting there drinking. I said, well, what are you guys up to today? Oh, nothing. We went out and made some money. And I said, yeah, I don't feel bad. I did too. And so I said, I just got here probably about 5-10 minutes ago. If I, about 10 minutes. He says, well, Donald looks at me and he says, Jeff, he says, you remember me asking you about going down to the bar tonight with me? I said, yeah, what about it? He says, well, there's a reason why I want you down there. It's okay. I said, well, at the time I was on the streets. So I didn't have anywhere to go. I was going from Imperial to Post. I'll stay a few nights out there at George's house through the week, especially on the weekends. From Friday night till Sunday night. I very rarely left. If there was beer and food there, I really didn't leave. Unless I obviously had to go do a job or something on a Saturday. I very rarely do work on Sundays. Because that was my day off. And I said, Donald, I said, you know, I don't got no place to go. He says, well, I got that covered. He said, I talked to Mom. He says, because he said, I want to go up to the bar and have a good time, but I said, I want you to reach my want you because there's been a couple of guys picking on me, and he says, I figured if I have you there, there won't be so much trouble. And he says, Mom says it's okay for you to come down to the house and crash on the couch for the night. I said, it's about that time his mom calls out there. This is like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I had pepped up and I said, George, that's Susan on the phone. She says, yeah. I said, let me talk to her for a minute. I said, Donald's telling me it's okay because he's going up there for me to come down and crash on the couch tonight. And she says, yeah. I said, it's okay with you? And everybody, she says, yeah, Jeff. She says, your family. She says, just come crash. Because I knew you were going to cause no trouble with anybody. It's alright. So I told him, I said, well, what time you planning on leaving? Because it's going to take us a while to walk from here to down there. And you know that we're going to drink so much here before we go down there. I said, no, Donald, I said, I'm going to be honest with you. I said, I just got done spending a little bit of money on a case of beer. Now, I probably got like close to $20, $25 on me now. He says, I got you covered for tonight. He says, we can go half and half. I said, alright. I said, I'll work. So he asked, well, what time you want to plan on being down there? He said, well, I'd like to be down there at 9:30. I said, alright. So I said, well, you never want to have to take a beer break, right? He said, yeah. He said, I was figuring leaving around about 8. He says, by no later than 8:30, between 8:30 and 15 till now, we should be down by McDonald's. Grab a cup of coffee, whatever. So, alright. So we sat there and drank for another 2 or 3 hours. We took our time. We wasn't sitting there pounding them. So we were sitting there drinking. So around about 7:30, around about 7:45, he says, yeah, let's go ahead and go. Alright. So I said, George, I'll be back out here sometime tomorrow. In the afternoon. So, alright. Get down there. Me and him and Darryl. Boy, we got plastered. So anybody still on? Because I didn't realize going on almost 2:30, guys. I got to get off for the night. I got some moving. There's some more stuff I got to bag up and move. So, what I'll do is, as soon as I get everything down there, and hopefully I get out here today. Hopefully. They're there then tomorrow, Wednesday. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off so I can finish cleaning and get stuff moved. So you all be safe, be well, stay humble. I will see you hopefully on the next one down there. So this is your hot piper. Keep them lit, keep the embers burning, and y'all take care.